course, during a personal bankruptcy case, unforeseen things happen. The engine on your car blows, the roof starts leaking, the furnace dies, and the list goes on. These are all classic examples of why any average person, not just someone in bankruptcy, would need to obtain credit. Well, what if you are in a bankruptcy? Am I allowed to obtain credit while in a bankruptcy? Will someone even give me credit while I'm in a bankruptcy? A Chapter 7 case generally lasts for about 4 months, and it's rare that someone isn't able to ride it out without the need for credit until the case is over, which frankly is always the best option. However, a Chapter 13 case can, and most do, go on for 5 years. So what then? Well, as with seemingly everything in life, there is good news and bad news. The bad news is that the general rule is that you are not permitted to obtain credit while in an active bankruptcy case. The good news is that there are, of course, exceptions. Here's how it works in Western Pennsylvania. If you wish to obtain credit during a bankruptcy case, you must get court approval. That does not mean that you need to get permission from the bankruptcy trustee, who is not a judge and cannot issue court orders. It means you need to get a court order from a judge, which generally means that a motion with the court needs to be filed that details why you need the credit, the terms of the credit that you're being offered, and you must make a showing that the credit is a necessity. In other words, you must show that you need to obtain credit for a really good reason. Like the furnace blew up in the middle of winter, or you need a medical device that insurance won't cover. The possibilities are endless, but the classic example is the need for a vehicle. People in Chapter 13s need vehicles all the time, and it is by far the most common reason to ask the court for permission to obtain credit. The process is as follows. First, there must be an actual need. You can't ask the court for permission to obtain a vehicle loan because you have a red car that runs perfectly fine and now you want a blue one. It needs to be because the vehicle won't pass inspection, or it is too costly to repair, or it was in an accident and is unsafe, or a variety of other reasons. Second, contact your attorney and let them know. Your attorney will do their thing and obtain a court order that allows you to obtain financing within certain parameters, like the maximum loan and monthly payment amounts. Third, you take that court order to the dealership, whose finance branch will hopefully find you a loan. Yes, the terms will be terrible, usually an interest rate in the 20s, but most people who need a loan get one. Finally, you buy your vehicle and report back to your attorney with the loan details so that he or she can report them to the court. This example, of course, was about vehicle financing, but the process and general rules apply to pretty much all types of financing while in bankruptcy. So, to sum it up, well, you can't just obtain credit at will during a bankruptcy case and it requires a court order allowing it. There are rules and systems in place within the bankruptcy process that permit financing for a good reason. This is a normal part of the process, and we get clients approved to obtain credit on a very regular basis. As always, if you have more questions about obtaining credit while in bankruptcy, the best source is one of the attorneys at our office. Give us a call.